Disc golf is the latest development from the fertile minds of the Frisbee folk.
Disc golf has been around for about 50 years, and in that span, millions of people have picked up the sport and tried to improve. But the thing is that it's extremely hard to learn how to actually do it, until now. With the method, we're going to open up the floodgates. The method is a way to uncouple intention from what your instincts as an adult tell you to do and what actually produces biomechanical force in the throw. That is the secret.
Brian's idea was using the rear leg as the catalyst for the entire throw, using that intention to power the rest of the throw, and oftentimes it has the ability to kind of bypass and overcome other people's bad habits in using their upper body to initiate the throw.
The method that Brian's developed is a way of teaching the feel of the weight shift that initiates a disc golf throw and puts you in a position to create leverage through the hip point, which is essentially saying it's a way to teach you how to throw properly and the way that all pros throw.
72 miles an hour. Most of the pros who throw the best and the farthest learn to do these biomechanics innately. They learn them organically as children, but I went through the whole journey.
Brian has played disc golf for about 20 years, and he's been addicted to trying to learn to throw better and farther. He's gone through all these struggles himself, and he wants other people to throw far too. So he knows what these roadblocks are, and he knows firsthand just how frustrating it is when you don't get it right.
I understand what it's like to inhabit the body of someone who's trying to learn, and I understand what it's like to inhabit the body of someone who throws correctly using biomechanics. I have the vocabulary to explain my entire 20+ years of growth to a person in a single conversation, in a single lesson. Very powerful teaching tool. We are at Hole 1 at North Park, also known as Mineral Springs in Seattle. This place, this roughly 300 horizontal feet of hallowed ground, is my laboratory.
Brian is just a ball of energy and joy, very enthusiastic, and when I ran into him, he was trying to make an ace at hole number 1 over at North Park.
I met Brian in 2016. When I saw him throwing shot after shot with a bag full of drivers, my first impression is, why don't you get some mid-ranges? But I could see he was driven to just learn how to throw far. That's all he cared about, and he wouldn't stop.
He's thrown tens of thousands of drives at this hole, and it looks a little nuts. It really does. But I think like over time, it really enabled him to get to the point where he's at in his understanding of the throw.
So when I would come here, I wouldn't just throw a lot of drives. I'd throw 100 to 110 drives, but they would all be on one hole. I never, ever left hole 1.
And then when I saw Brian doing it all the time, it got to be annoying. Hey, Brian, are you almost done? I confronted him about, this is a public park, it's for everybody, and you're taking up this space where other people want to use it.
Hole 1 provided a consistent environment for Brian to develop his throw and then develop his teaching of it to other people.
Yes.
So it kind of provided the perfect environment for him to really do all of these things and eventually arrive at the method.
Brian must have talked to hundreds and hundreds of disc golfers at hole 1 at North Park.
I met Brian down at T-pad 1. He added about 25 to 30 feet to my drive in about 20 minutes.
I've aced hole 1 43 times, and it's all led me to one thing. The thing that I am teaching right now to the community, the method.
As far as I know, that might be a record for aces on one hole. Once he gets his teeth into something, he's tenacious. Tenacious B.
And then over the time, I've seen Brian help out a lot of people, beginners, elder people. It doesn't matter. He just helps out everybody. So I kind of got over being annoyed and said, hey, he's actually really good for the park. It took about 8 years.
I think that the one thing that is currently holding back the floodgates right now that prevents the sport from exploding in the way that it clearly should and truly occupying the space as the sport of the 21st century is the fact that it's so hard to learn it. The method will teach you how to play the sport better. And it will allow you to enjoy disc golf at a higher level. You can take it as far as you want to go. You can throw so far, it will blow your mind.